Good evening and welcome to the Monday edition of Inside Speedweek. A turnpike delay would hold the show up for an hour, but it was Tim Dietz who would get things started, leading the field to the green flag after gaining the most points in the heat race. Ben Murphy and Mike Rutherford would immediately go on the attack as Dietz would battle with Rutherford for most of the first lap, Dietz holding the bottom line and Rutherford on the top. Rutherford would look strong, but Dietz was able to hold back the 6 car and secure the lead before the first caution flag of the event would fly for the 7G of Jimmy Glenn. On the ensuing restart, it would be Dietz again trying to hold off Rutherford, Murphy, and now Ryan Smith, who had picked his way up through the field when Jimmy Brookins started smoking. Caution flag would fly. It'd be the final caution of the night. 28 straight laps of racing to follow after the lap 2 caution flag. Dietz would get a good restart and start to open up a pretty sizable lead over Mike Rutherford. Rutherford would hold second for about the first quarter of the race, with Ben Murphy and Ryan Smith racing behind him. Here you see Smith trying to drive to the inside of Murphy. That would become a trend throughout the race. The point race was an exciting one to watch as Robbie Kenda was barred deep in traffic for most of the event while Heath Henley was cutting through the field, eventually earning the Hard Charger Award. Henley started 20th and would climb his way up to finish 5th. Here you see Heath picking his way through the field with little regard to the own safety of his car. Again, the battle for second would be a great one to watch. It was Mike Rutherford trying to hold back Ryan Smith and Ben Murphy while they battled with each other. Murphy would eventually go to the bottom and was able to pick off Rutherford, pushing Rutherford back to third and leaving Ryan Smith to make the move as well. Quickly, Ben Murphy would start to cut into Tim Dietz's lead, and it wouldn't be long before a sweeping move around the outside would take Ben Murphy to the top spot. Tim Dietz would do his best to try to come back on the inside, but he would later say he thinks all he needed to do was move up a little bit, and he would have been able to keep track with the leaders. Instead, Dietz stayed glued to the bottom, while Murphy, the second hypercar in the picture, was able to take the lead and start to open up a little bit of an advantage of his own. It wouldn't be long before Kunkletown's Ryan Smith was able to pick up the second position and take the runner-up spot to Murphy as the field flashes under halfway. The rest of the way provided what can only be considered an epic Speedweek battle. It was Ben Murphy out front trying to hold back Ryan Smith for the remainder of the event. Smith glued to the absolute bottom, with Murphy trying to run the high side, picking their way through heavy lap traffic the rest of the way. The bottom would be a little bit of a safer place to be, as Murphy would many times get trapped behind lap traffic, just as you're seeing here. Smith, right down against the tires, is able to pin Murphy, but Murphy comes down and holds him off for another lap. 3 wide down the backstretch with traffic. Smith on the bottom, the middle, belonged to Murphy. They continued to cut their way through the traffic, still side by side. Lap after lap, it continued this way until finally Ryan Smith would start to gain the advantage, but not for long, Murphy coming right back. One perfect move is all it would take from Ryan Smith pinning Murphy behind a lap car and able to take the advantage. With 2 to go, Murphy's car would slow, giving Ryan Smith clear sailing the rest of the way on his way to his first Speedweek victory. Aaron Spar came across for a quiet second-place finish. Tim Dietz gained a hard third place. Eric Bodine fourth, and as we mentioned earlier, Heath Henley rounded out the top 5. For Ryan Smith, he would say in Victory Lane that it was good, clean racing. He thought he was racing Mike Dicely, but he was actually racing Dicely's team car, Ben Murphy, for the win. Thursdays when Speedweek will resume at the Susquehanna Speedway Park. Racing starts at 7. Make sure you're there to catch the first leg of the remainder of the 2010 Speedweek.